Welcome. I am Mike. This is MikeGolfsOregon. Tonight, I'm very excited to have who I would call a friend now, Paul from 50 at 50, another golf YouTube vlogger from the Bay Area who I've had a chance to meet and connect with. I'm very excited to talk to Paul about sort of what it's like being a 50-year-old, 50 plus now YouTube golf person. I don't know what even to call us, Paul. What do we call ourselves? But whatever we are, whatever we are, that's what we are. Very close in age. I just had a birthday yesterday, turned 53. Paul's about ready to turn 53. So stay with us. We're going to talk about what it's like to be 53 years old and have a YouTube channel. Paul, it is so great to have you on. It's great to see you. Great to hear from you. How are you doing tonight? You doing good?
Really good. Really good. It's always good to connect with you. We met up in Oregon and we got rained out.
Yeah, we got rained out. So what did we do? We went and had a pint and some food, right?
And talked for about 2 hours.
And talked for about 2 hours. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great time connecting. But let's just start right from the start. I want to start where sort of we teed this up as most people when they turn 50 years old, Paul. Maybe you have a big party. Maybe you go on a trip. A cruise is probably pretty popular. You did something a little bit out of the ordinary. You decided, I'm turning 50. I am going to two things: start a YouTube channel, and I'm also going to set a goal to golf 50 different golf courses in my 50th year. In those 52 weeks that I'm only 50 years old, 50 golf courses. Please tell me that you had other ideas of how to celebrate your 50th birthday. How did this come about? Can you walk us through how you decided to start YouTube at 50 years old? With your golf channel.
Yeah. So the whole 50 at 50, the whole like concept for that is you're honored to age, right? Not everybody gets to age. And I really wanted to do something different for my 50th. And I love playing golf, and I always find I was playing the same course again and again and again. And I'm like, you know what? Let's commemorate turning 50.
Yeah.
And try and play 50 different courses in my 50th year. And I thought that just sounds like fun. And then with the YouTube channel to begin with, like you'll see the first couple of golf courses, they're not like full on vlogs of the round. I just thought I was going to be in the car. I would report on the round and do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Then I kind of got addicted to it. And ended up doing the course blogs and all of that stuff. So
what's the part that what sort of was the feeling that gave rise to the addiction? Because the same thing happened to me, right?
Yeah,
probably very common, right?
Yeah, I found it fun to look back at the rounds. I often would see myself making the same mistakes again and again and again, and I still make them. But I've actually used it to like diagnose a couple of issues I've had before, but I kind of enjoy the editing process and putting the whole round together. And it was just fun. So I after I did the year, it was like, am I going to stop? And I'm like, I kind of enjoy this. No, I don't want to stop. So I continue doing it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Our mutual internet friend, Jamel, is very disappointed that you're still not wearing a bucket hat. And I don't know the story. I don't know the story fully behind that, but you know, if you want to offer apologies to Jamel or you know,
I have a bucket hat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's start again. Let's just start the thing. I'll go get the bucket hat and then we'll change everything to a bucket hat.
Yeah, no, because then you knock out one of my other questions, which is let's talk about the hat, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I used to wear like normal caps and that, but flat caps are very much a lot of English people wear flat caps.
Sure.
You don't see people wearing them that much here. And I'll go back occasionally to my hometown where I grew up. And I'll go to market and like everyone's wearing hats. It's like, oh, okay, it's just what it is. And I like the way they look, and I'm hiding hair loss. So there you go.
Cat's out of the bag. Well, there. Jamel just spilled the beans. The stories. He wears a bucket hat. Everyone should too. I actually don't disagree, Jamel. I wear bucket hats quite often. Not in a lot of my videos, but I do wear them. So getting back to you know, celebrating your milestone with this you know, starting a YouTube channel, doing all this, sort of what what were your sort of expectations? What have you enjoyed? If you know, what has sort of been the journey there on the YouTube side of it and the creation side of it?
The creation side, to begin with, it was going to be super simple. I was just going to talk about my round. And then I edited the first couple. There's no shot traces or anything like that. And it just started this like little bit of, I wanted to progress each video and just get a little bit better. And then I would see other videos. And I'm like, oh, I could do shot traces and I could do a voiceover and I could get mics and do that sort of stuff because I'm like a techie kind of guy stuff. So every video, I'm just trying to improve it just a little bit. And then I'll often kick myself in the, stamp on my own feet because now I've just gone and changed that editing time from putting it all together and it may be taking a couple of hours to it being, a couple of days of edit.
Yeah. What do you use for editing? I know Roger, good to see you in there, Roger. Roger was asking, what do you use to edit your
so
videos?
I have been using Adobe products since this is the age thing, since Photoshop. Photoshop 3.0 was my first Adobe product. And like the first thing I edited on was Premiere. So I've stayed with Premiere. I've tried other things, but that's primarily what I edit on. And then the Shot Tracer is Shot Tracer Pro. Is that the one?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. The one that everybody uses that
Yeah.
I still don't understand why there's not like a major competitor to them at this point.
Right.
Especially
Exactly.
with AI. They're like, how is this possible? How is this?
And maybe it'll come with AI. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So when you decide the concept is build this channel around 50 at 50. I'm interested. I'm kind of curious on the golf aspect of it. How far in advance did you sort of plan out? Because that roughly works out to about a new course every week. Fortunately, you're in the Bay Area, so you have access to a lot of courses relatively close. Like I don't know how many miles I would have to log where I'm at to hit 50 courses, different courses.
Right.
Like quite a bit, right? So how did sort of that planning process go at the beginning? What was the concept for how you were going to plan this out and execute on the logistics of this? And then what was the reality once you got started? Because I remember when you still had like 2 weeks to go and you were like, I gotta get like 10 courses or whatever it was.
It was crazy. That last week was nuts. So yeah, I had a lot of courses left to do and we're in January. And January days are kind of short.
Yeah.
And I'm like fingers crossed with the weather because I'm needing to play 2 courses a day to make it happen. And I had to find courses that were close enough because if I had to travel too far between the courses, I just wasn't going to get it done. So that was like the end. The end to my 50 at 50 was Eagle Vine Chardonnay in Napa. And then the last 2 courses was Half Moon Bay. Was it not Half Moon? Yeah, Half Moon Bay, the Ocean, and the Old course. Okay. So I actually finished on the Ocean course, which is one of my favorite courses in the Bay, which is so much fun to do. So that was fun, but it was like I was watching the weather forecast. I'm like, okay, it could happen, and I really wanted to be like honest about getting it done. I didn't get the videos edited by the thing because I did so many courses at the end, but I did squeeze them all in.
You got all the rounds in, yeah.
I got all the rounds in.
So like I just thinking myself, I know exactly how I would probably start. I would grab a map. I would do the 50, I would do a circle of like maybe 2 hours or hour and a half and pinpoint all the golf courses and then just figure out, okay, where's 50 that are not private. And then I would just
I would like to say I was that organized, but it was a case of I'm going to hit the local courses. And then during that year, my good friend Dean and I went to Chicago and we banged out a whole bunch of courses in Chicago. Chicagoland is like, if you get a chance to go out there and play, like they're public courses, they're really decent prices and the courses are just fun. So much fun.
I had Mike Buey, who's a Chicago-based YouTube golfer on.
Yeah.
And we talked about sort of that, like it was actually really fun. And Chicago is a place that I really, really want to go. And his very first golf vlog, there were gunshots while he was on the course. It was pretty wild, but
Yeah,
it,
so I'm in San Leandro, Bay Area, San Leandro, and the people
yeah,
are like, "Where is it?" And like, nobody, San Leandro, whatever, wherever. But where are you? We're near Oakland. How close are you? We can hear the gunshots.
yeah. That's good. I don't know if that's good, but let's just say that's good. So you mentioned Dean. I know in our conversations, he's like your primary golfing partner.
Yeah.
Were most of your videos planned around rounds with other people, or did you try to get out solo? Because just the whole recording process is a thing in
Right.
itself.
So, yeah, Dean does not appreciate it when I record. So I went into stealth mode a lot of the time. So it really, I don't want to slow anybody down, right? I play quickly, and filming actually gets me to slow down just a smidgen, which is probably good for my game. If I get to play, walk to my shot, hit the shot, walk to the next shot, hit the shot, I will play better than a 5-hour, 6-hour round on a Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, probably I would say 50% of the rounds were with Dean, but there was, especially near the end, I'm like, I have to get these rounds in. I'm going out solo.
Yeah.
Which was, yeah.
So
just got to get them done.
Yeah. Did you keep any like sort of, I don't know if you track stats or statistics or whatever, but did you keep any sort of like measurements or analytics on those 50 rounds?
I started to, and I was like, okay, at the end of it, I'll work out how many birdies, how many bogeys, average score, and all of that stuff. And it just got to a stage of, I'm just trying to get this done. So all of that went out the window. During the year, like, normally I will practice a little bit, especially on my short game and stuff, and I'll play. By the end of the year, I'd lost distance, and I was more of a scrambly golfer than how I was at the beginning. I think I got worse. I think I got worse, but it was fun.
A lot of golf
Yeah.
can do that. It does it to me
Yeah.
sometimes. I start playing a lot and then just things start to slide away.
And then the eye-opening thing is you play the same course a lot of the time, right?
Yeah.
You know that course. So I used to play Monarch Bay, slowest course in the universe. Monarch Bay.
I'm familiar with Monarch Bay. Yeah.
Matt at Putt Perfection would be like, I hate that place. It's way too slow.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, Monarch Bay, and I play that course all the time. And I when I'm playing it, I play not to get the double bogeys, the triple bogeys when I played it all the time. And you end up managing your way around the course so not to have a terribly high round. When you're playing all these courses you don't know, you don't know where to play it like that. And I'm typically more aggressive than my skill level should allow me to be. So I'm often, I had some really high scores, and to begin with, it was like, really, I'm putting, I like to, I'm an 80s shooter, whatever, but I'm putting out 102 and 90 something and that, and I'm putting this on YouTube. I'm asking to be ridiculed. Yeah, that's okay.
It is. And there's like a big disconnect between the people who actually post stuff and understand what goes into putting together a round, recorded round, and then what you normally shoot and how you normally play without a camera, without all that extra stuff. And so you see too many times people are like, there is no way that you are an X handicap. Look at the way you play. I'm like, well, this is like 10% of my rounds are posted, or 20% of my rounds are posted on YouTube. The rest of my rounds are actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Question. So back to the 50-year-old YouTuber. When you started your channel, have you had a channel before?
So I have an outdoor movie business.
Yeah.
And I have a channel, Paul the Outdoor Movie Guy. And that is all business related, talking about the outdoor movie industry, movie licensing. And I do these big screen events on inflatable screens. So I have that. And that was very much, I got asked the same questions by clients again and again and again. And instead of repeat myself, I created videos about those subjects, like educational content. So I had that channel before, which was, a
lot less personal.
Yeah, a lot less. I mean, a lot less personal. It's a lot less of putting yourself out there. And I feel like the 50 at 50, as I've made it okay with myself to put a little bit more of my personal my personal self into those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question was going to be, did you, you know, how open were you with your friends and your family that you had this new channel and that you were going to be a YouTube golfer, or you were at least going to be posting stuff on YouTube? It sounds so funny. I hate
It's
it.
hilarious. Yeah, it
It's
is.
hilarious to me too, because I didn't tell anybody. I just did it.
Yeah. So I think with the 50 at 50, I just did it, but I did tell my wife, and I'm so lucky that Kelly is like the most supportive person. With my business, when I started that, she was like so supportive. I'm just so lucky to have such a wonderful partner and wife and that, and she's always so supportive for that stuff. So we were getting near the end, and my business is very seasonal.
Mhm.
So in the winter I have time but no money. In the summer I have money but no time. And it was, and I was like, oh, I really shouldn't be spending this much money on golf right now. And she's like, you need to do this. You can't get so close and miss the mark, because so
because the channel's on the internet. And
so
did random people, like friends and stuff, like stumble upon it and find it and mention it?
I have
your experience there.
Well, a lot of the people I play golf with, you know, I've had the camera out and that they were, you know, okay, this is what you do. It's kind of fun. I've had a couple of high schoolers that were know my daughter, and they're like, oh, your dad's got that YouTube channel. That's kind of cool. So I need to play with a couple of them. I'm like, we really want to play with your dad, but that hasn't happened yet. So at some point I'll play with some of my daughter's friends.
Yeah. So this has been that's exactly my experience. Like, I didn't tell anybody. For one, I was like, you know, I want people that are actually enjoy this kind of content,
right,
and engage with it, and are not watching it out of some sort of familial obligation or whatever, right? Or, you know, good job, Mikey, you did it. That's a really nice video. You know, that I'm not looking for that.
Yeah.
If they genuinely enjoy it, that's great. So I didn't tell anybody. And then the people that seemed to embrace it for me were just like you. It was high school kids recognizing me at my club and saying hi, and then saying, can I golf with you? Or let me see it's always like, let me see your putter. Or, you know, hey, are you recording today? Are you recording today? You know,
right.
like, no, I'm just out here just banging balls around on the course. But it's the younger people, because that's what they engage in. And I will say that some of the people that have approached me later, as the channel's grown a little bit, friends, same age, they always tend to sort of pull you aside, say, hey, I saw your channel. I really like it. I really like that. That's really cool. And at first I was kind of embarrassed, and, you know, you feel kind of sheepish about it. Like, oh, I'm involved in this young person's thing. You know, who do I think I am doing this? And I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad you now I've gotten over that. I'm like, I'll live my life and enjoy what I enjoy. I'm glad you like it. That's great. I'm going to keep making them because I enjoy making them. I'm glad you enjoy watching them.
Yeah, I was recognized. It was weird. It was at Monarch. It was on the little executive course, and somebody came up. He's like, you got the hat. Did you do that golf thing? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Oh yeah, it's very and I think for me, people see me across the fairways and they see a left-hander.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. They see a left-hander and they're like, that guy. Guy. That's good. That's good. Actually, speaking, I think earlier you talked about your first video, and it's a, you know, sort of the trope or the stereotypical golf vlogger car confessional. I call it a car confessional. My question, and that was your first one. You kind of outlined, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing and whatnot. The question I wrote down after I watched it was, will you ever bring back the Moses beard? Because
that beard was out of control.
A very big beard, very thick, out of control beard. It was fantastic.
If it all goes completely white, I think I may go full Santa. But yeah,
I'm almost there. My beard is whiter than my hair. And that's a dead giveaway. That's a dead giveaway. Before we went live, we had a conversation and stuff, and I love this stuff. part of the review or the prep or whatever you want to call it process for this is looking at your most viewed videos. And one of the things that we talked about, your most viewed videos coming from the 50 at 50 are your rounds at Tilden, which the only thing I remember about Tilden is the first couple holes.
First hole.
The first couple holes are just absolutely brutal walk. I think I lost every ball in my bag on that course. But Tilden and then the Bridges, which I never got to play. They were both sort of, they're both sort of blow up rounds for you, both really tough courses.
Yeah, this is the only golf course I've ever walked out, and I'm going to let you do the comment in a second.
No, and then you said
only one I've ever walked.
Yeah.
So I said it's on the video. I'm like, it's the only golf course I have ever walked off of, and now you can say the comment.
Yeah, and so the best part was going through and reading the comments, and we had this discussion about how you handle comments as a 50-year-old man, how you handle these kind of comments. So I was laughing my ass off. The Bridges, you really shouldn't play these high slope rating courses, man. A lot of poor club choices.
Dean says that to me all the time.
and then you really suck, sir.
Well, at least he was polite.
But he did somehow misspelled suck. Then my favorite, right? This is the one. This is from the Bridges. You walked off this course. I walked out of watching this. Yuck. Which I absolutely love. Trolls are the best. Tell me, how do you handle trolls on on your YouTube channel?
You know, I want to say something like sarcastic back to them, but I'm a 50-year-old and you've just got to let it roll off your back. And it's a weird thing to have to even think about. It's like, where's your video, sir?
Yeah. And I think this is probably the downfall or the biggest weakness of social media is it eliminates the need for a filter for most people.
Yeah.
Because this guy would not come out and say this to you in person.
Right.
I walked out of playing with you. Yuck. This is not how people talk to each other.
Yeah, the only comment that's ever really I got mad at, and I think I engaged, was somebody like, you must make everybody slow. You're the reason for 6-hour rounds. And I'm like, I guarantee I play quicker than you. I'm not aim pointing or anything. I may be bad sometimes, but I'm never slow.
Yeah, I will say that that's probably the one benefit for me recording on the same course over and over is I use the Grant app right when I'm not recording. Right. When I'm recording, I'm using my iPhone, so I'm not using the app and I'm not using the GPS system. But I have a really good sense of where I'm at on the course and what it's going to take. And so I usually have my club pulled before I ever get to the ball. I know this is going to be this shot. Right. And so it's pretty funny. It seems to, like you said before, you kind of play a little bit faster. So
one real humbling thing. So when I started doing the videos, I didn't have a distance tracking thing, and I had my distances in my mind, how far I hit everything. I went to a range, worked out in perfect conditions how far I hit it. Then I got the Arcos sensors, and I started using them to work out my distances and that. And when I start getting that data back, I was shocked at how I didn't hit the clubs as far as I thought I did. And that was very humbling.
What was the delta? What's the sort of the general delta that we're looking at?
Yeah. So, how far do you hit your 7-iron? Oh, how far do you hit your 8-iron? I hit my 8-iron 150. That's what I thought. No, I hit my 8-iron about 138, 140. So every club was not quite as long as I thought. Yeah. And occasionally I'll crush one, and they're the ones that you're like, oh, I've hit it too far. The driver as well. The driver, I have lost distance, a little speed with my driver, but in my mind I hit it 260, 270. Reality is 238, 240.
Yeah.
And it was humbling.
Yeah, and outside of the summertime, that's me, and I'm totally fine with it. Yeah. I want to recognize Square Golf Spike in the comments there. Imagine being 67 with 3 back surgeries and 4 neck fusion and knee operation in May, and still in the sim most days. That tip of the hat, if I was wearing a hat, tip of the hat to you,
To you,
sir.
sir. To you,
That's
sir.
fantastic.
Yes,
That
well
is
done.
that is the kind of sicko addiction to the game that I love to see.
You have to keep going. I mean,
Yeah.
that's if you stop, that's it. That's the end, right? You've got to keep
Yeah.
going. You got to keep pushing.
Have
And
you
more
go ahead.
pains every year. More pains every year. You know, I have arthritic toe, and like the shoulders got problems and that, but you work around it. You got to keep playing.
Yeah. It gets harder this time of year. Every year it gets a little bit harder in the wintertime. We teed off this morning and it was, I think, 40,
Oh my
41.
gosh.
It was, it was a little chilly. My wife, my brother-in-law, and I, it was a little cold. Things don't go quite. I was taking 2 extra clubs, right?
Mm,
So where I normally, and it is really hard to overcome mentally that, like, I need to hit an 8-iron here, where in normal conditions in summertime I would hit a pitching wedge, right? But
right.
I'm like, nope, I'm gonna hit an 8. And sure enough, it's an 8-iron. It's an
Yeah.
8-iron in this weather. Um, Outside of using Arcos, have you noticed, like, what other things have you noticed? You get the aches and pains or whatever, but as you age in golf, have you noticed loss of distance? Otherwise, just
Um,
age wise, or
you know, when I haven't always played golf, but when I started playing golf, I was in pretty good shape. And there's a course called Lake Chabot. It should be called Mount
Mhm.
Chabot. And I used to be able to, I would go out first thing in the morning and I would play it in just under 3 hours, around 3 hour mark. Now, if I try to do that, I think I would need a respirator and I would never walk that course again. So that's like, you gotta choose your battles with that stuff. I
Yeah,
love walking. I play better when I'm walking, but some courses is like, no, it's a cart now.
yeah, I'm a just a dedicated walker, and especially in the wintertime. People want to take carts in the wintertime, but
Oh no, it's
you
quicker
freeze.
to play with
Yeah,
a
you
push
freeze.
cart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you freeze, and then it's cart path only. So you mentioned, actually, this raises sort of a whole nother topic. You talk about, like, when I was a younger golfer, I was in much better shape. What is sort of your golf history? When did you start? And let's get a little bit more history here. Obviously, I you might be, your accent tells me you might be from Louisiana. I'm not sure, but
Deep
maybe I'm
South,
wrong.
mate. Deep
Deep
South.
South,
Yeah.
maybe that's Boston. I'm not good with accents. You talked about Chicago. So give me sort of the Paul origin story. You and I have talked about this,
Yeah,
and
yeah. So
I find it
I'm
interesting.
originally from England. I get Australia, New Zealand all the time, but I'm originally from England. Um, my golfing story in England is I didn't really play. It was like pitch and putt would be about it, but I skateboarded. That's what I
Yeah,
did. And you know, I was fully into skateboarding for many, many years when I first came over here. That's was my primarily entertainment. And skateboarding and golf are so similar. You wouldn't think like that you've got this high impact, dangerous, whatever sport, and then you think country club golf or whatever, but
yeah, yeah,
skateboarding it's this sport that is, or pastime, whatever you want to call it, that you can go out on your own and have an amazing time. And it's really hard and it's really, really challenging. And you can also go out with friends and have an amazing time. And golf is the same thing. It's something that you never really master. You can go out on your own. I can go out on my own and play. I mean, what we went to my wife was at a conference in Texas and I took my club. I rented clubs and played 3 rounds of golf in a day. It was like one of the best days of my life. And I was on my own. I was, nobody else with me, but also, you go on a golf trip with a bunch of guys and it's just a ton of fun.
yeah.
And it's that same ridiculously hard challenge. I don't think you'll ever master it. Even Tiger in his prime had a bad hole.
Like skating, there's always
Yeah.
one more trick. There's
Yeah.
always
There's always
the
one more
next level.
trick. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
more revolution, half a
Yeah.
revolution, one more thing.
And I look at somebody like, Tony Hawk right now, and he's still skateboarding at a pretty high level, but even
Yeah.
he's like, I'm retiring this trick. I can no longer do that.
I can't do
And
it.
I still roll. I mean, I still have a board. This was like when I was a kid. This was a replica of the board I had. So this is a replica of the board I used to ride, and I still roll around on it. But No more tricks.
No more.
No
No
more
more tricks.
tricks.
No more tricks. That's good.
No more tricks.
I think you mentioned at lunch when we met, a couple months ago, that your old skater friends were maybe a little incredulous or couldn't understand why you had gravitated towards golf,
Right.
right?
Hopefully that explains it to them.
I think that does explain it, and I
Yeah.
think the question it's funny because you kind of went through that, right? And I wrote down like, the incredulous or couldn't understand why golf. What did you say to that? Is it selling out to play a sport with such a privileged history?
Right.
Especially coming from a skateboarding background, which is,
Yeah.
just sort of has a very strong
Right.
anti-authoritarian. Don't tell me what to do. Skateboarding's not a crime.
Yeah.
That's in the DNA of the sport, right?
Yeah. I had a sticker on my board. It was like, skateboarding's not a crime, but it should be.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's it is kind of funny.
It's crazy now that oh my gosh, there's a brand out there that is doing like a thing with Santa Cruz, and somebody's going to probably put it in the comments, but you can get like a Santa Cruz golf bag.
Oh,
Like I'm like, that's so cool, and they've got like golf gear and stuff. It's such a cool little like collab thing.
I'm thinking of like all those 80s skateboards that we had,
Right.
the Caballeros, the Nautis, all
Yeah.
all those skateboards, and how they would make the most cool bags. Even like the old school
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
the Tony Hawk models would be amazing.
Oh, we need a Pal and Peralta golf collab. That would be excellent. I want a Tommy Guerrero bag.
Oh, Pal and Peralta. That would be super good. That would be so much fun. I love it. Roger Golf asks, does Paul have YouTube golf inspirations or favorites? What does Paul think of Shiels and Finch? Lots of UK YouTube golfers.
I love those two. And they're when they do the club challenge, they get like 200 pounds or whatever, and they buy the clubs and play each other and stuff. I think they just bounce off each other really well. I really enjoy them.
Yeah, I do too. They have a very long history. They have a long history together, and especially a long YouTube history.
Yeah.
I think Finch is hands down one of my absolute favorites of the bigs. Probably my favorite of the big channels. Just his sense of humor just jives with where I'm at. It's very, very funny.
There's a lot of like Manchester humor, comedy. Just some of the comments. It's very dry, and it's
very dry.
I like that.
I like that, and I also, speaking of a sport with a privileged history, he's got his humor is it's a very literate humor. I'll use that term, right? If he throws things out that are sort of references to not the typical sort of throwaway cultural touchstones, right? You get the odd Shakespearean quote and stuff like that thrown in there, and I absolutely love that. I love it.
The other YouTubers like Eric Andersland, Adventures in Golf.
Yeah.
Like I every winter I'll go for a week or so where I'll like absolutely watch that all the time. And I would, asking about what my, possible aspirations, I love that his travel golf stuff I think is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more documentary sort of stuff. Yeah. And it makes you want to go do things. I think he's great.
I love those. I love watching those, but like going back to your, sort of your divulging your planning process for the 50 at 50. I imagine that the coordination and the logistics of doing the travel series is very high and not something that I would prefer engaging in.
Right. That would be a lot of work.
The outcomes are awesome, but this actually touches on something else that I'd written down, a topic to talk about, which is, you posted a bunch of videos this year with Scotland trip with family. I think it was your nephew. And you got to golf some really cool courses.
Oh my gosh.
You had a whole group of guys there. Tell me about that. How often do you get back there? And, do you golf every time you go back? And
so that was the first time I'd ever golfed in Scotland. And golf in Scotland, it's different. It's built different. It's, we walked every round. We had a caddy. I think our longest round was 3 hours 45 minutes. And some of the courses you go play, we played Presswick, and
Yeah.
we would have not. I dread to think what I would have shot if I didn't have a caddy, because you don't know where you're on some of the holes. You just don't know where you're going, and he's like,
Everything's blind.
oh, go over that hill, and after, like, because they bet on you, right? The caddies, they bet after the first
Yeah.
couple of holes, they bet on you. And at Presswick, I'd actually dreamt of that first hole, and I'd never seen it before. Like, I dreamt of a hole with a railway track on the right hand side and all of
That's the
that.
number one, right? Number one hole.
Yeah,
is like
number
right down
one. And in my mind, I hit one down the middle of the fairway. In reality, I nearly hit a train. That was yeah, that was fun.
What's sort of the run? Give us the rundown. What was the rundown of courses that you played while you were over there?
Oh my gosh. We played what was it? Glen Eagles, Presswick, Dumbani. What's the one up? There's the we didn't play St. Andrews, but there's another one, Kings Barnes, which was amazing. And then
is that the Heathland course?
It's the course. It's like right on the ocean, and there's the Dunhill Links where they play at 3 courses. It's one of those courses, and it's spectacular. It has the most amazing bathroom in golf. So you go up, and sorry ladies, but there's a urinal, and you're standing, and there's a window, and you look out the window, and you see the golf course and the sea and everything. It's like the most
did you shout that out? Did you shout that? Did you point that out in the video? Because I watched the video.
I think I did. I think I mentioned it, but I didn't stand there and video while I was
probably good thing. Probably good thing. But I remember, and for some reason I was thinking Kings Barnes is the one. Maybe it's Kingston Heath is the one that I'm thinking of. Is like the Heathland course. So, but I mean, those are amazing. It
was an absolute amazing trip, and we had we had one day at the Open. The one day we had awful weather was the day we went to the Open, so we got to see all the pros struggle, which was so much fun. We saw the man, the myth, the legend, John Daly, which was great. Yeah. And then we had one day, which was like the non-golf day. And on that day we golfed.
Yeah.
We played Sterling on that day. So it's like, you're going to go all that way. You've got to do that. And originally it was, a group of guys, a lot of people from Chicago, a couple from Arizona, all American based went, but some people, they're all older. Most of them are older than me and have ailing bodies. So after the first round, people are dropping out and stuff. So I got to take my nephew for a couple of rounds, and my best friend when I was a kid leave for a couple of for one round as well. So that was amazing.
That's cool. When you were so before you came to the US, were you golfing when you were in the UK?
I played a couple of pitch and putts, but not
just
I didn't have clubs. Yeah, it was the little pop 3 pitch and putts, but I mainly skateboarding.
So
a lot of sport, a lot of soccer, a lot of football. Sorry, not soccer, football. No. A lot of sports. I have a business degree specializing in recreation management, so it was all sports all the time.
Yeah,
and when I came to the States, I started study tech and stuff. So I ended up being a network administrator for about 13 years, and then started my business and kind of went back into recreation.
Oh, that's cool. So what brought you into golf once you were stateside?
So there was a person I work with, Milan, and she is a golf nut, and I worked with her, and she kind of introduced me, lent me some clubs, and then we would go play golf all the time. And there was a group of us up in the Santa Rosa area, and I just got, golf is so addictive. I hit a couple of good drives and that was it. So that was up in Santa Rosa. We played Bennett Valley a lot. It's Ronald Park course. It's now called Foxdale. It used to be, I don't know, Goose Poop Valley or something like that.
did you so speaking of Santa Rosa, I think the only course I ever played up there I think it's closed now. It was Geronimo or San Geronimo. Did you ever play that?
Oh, San Geronimo's in Marin, and I did. And
Okay.
I like San Geronimo. It's sad
Okay.
that went away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I have some pretty fantastic memories of
Yeah, that's a good course.
driving up
That was a good
there.
course.
The one time I played it, driving up there with a bunch of law school buddies, just to
Yeah.
we'd go play and blow off steam, and
Yeah.
some pretty special times up there. So
Yeah.
that's really neat. Did you when you got started in it, did you take lessons, or sort of it was like I'm just gonna grab
It's a
some clubs
home.
and go?
If you've seen my swing, it's definitely a homegrown
This is a
swing.
segue, Paul. This is a segue.
It's
So
John
it's all
Daly
good.
inspired, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think
I've tried to shorten it and everything, and my timing goes off. So I play with what I have.
I love it. Here's what I wrote down. I wrote down the swing. Don't go changing.
Don't go changing.
Yeah, don't go changing. I love it because it's yours. It's scary. It's scary because it doesn't look like it should work, but it does, and it's just fun.
Yeah. It looks like I should hit it a lot more further than I do.
or spray it like ridiculously. It just that's what I love about it. And honestly, like I went back and looked at my first couple of videos, and I've always had a very, very long backswing, and I've worked so hard to try to shorten it. It's really hard to.
It is.
It's really, really hard to. But and I know you worked with Edison at least once or twice. I think you had a video.
Yeah,
right,
I think I did maybe 3 or 4 lessons with him, and
he's also like, awesome. Don't change, right? He's like, don't change. Let's just use what you're doing and make it better. How did that turn out?
After every lesson, we were in the lesson, we would be doing stuff, and then he would make one little change, like trying to drop it in a little bit, or whatever it happened to be, and then I would just hit a couple of huge ones. I'm like, wow, I really should take more lessons. The hard thing is always taking it to the course, right? And when you go to the course, you gotta play. I want to go play golf. I don't want to go play golf swing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So when I go to the golf course, I want to play golf. I want to move my ball around the course, try and get down in as few strokes as possible, maybe hit a couple of good drives, sink a couple of putts, and my life is good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to the golf course and be like, okay, now I've got to drop it inside and do this and do that. It's not the place for that.
I had a stretch in my round today where I got stuck in, for some reason. I'm usually pretty good about not going there, but I got stuck in that mindset, and I had a stretch of holes where it was Shank City, like literally every club just hosel. And I realized I was getting super stiff because I was thinking about just way too much about mechanics.
Yeah.
Way too much about mechanics. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm an athlete. I don't need to think about mechanics. Just pick your target, use your hands, and make the ball go there. And then actually I got everything back on track, and I was like, oh yeah. Hey, I solved it. Woohoo, I solved it. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's pretty fun. Let's see what else I have here. I had like so many things written down here, and I still have so many things written down to talk about.
We can keep going. I have a Coca-Cola here. Whoa.
Yeah. That sounds like a Coca-Cola. And like I said, I got my Mexican bourbon here.
There we go.
Going back to your 50 at 50, let's talk about a little bit about the courses. Do you have, other than, obviously Tilden and the Bridges where you got roasted a little bit in the comments, do you have like a favorite course that stands out in those 50 courses?
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to forget the name of it. There was one in Chicago, something Lakes, and I love that course. And then the last course I played, the Ocean course at Half Moon Bay, finishing with a par was just like the best thing in the world after everything I'd been through. And it was so emotional because I was coming down that hole, the last hole, and if you're lucky, you'll get the bagpiper out there. And it was like everything happened. The bagpiper came out. I parred the hole. I'm like, it was
perfect.
It was absolutely amazing. And then I mean, I think one of my favorite courses is actually Pacific Grove. And you've probably seen people talk about it on
Yeah.
Matt's Discord.
Yeah.
That is it's a strange course because the front nine is through houses and it's very kind of a little tight and it's through houses, and then the back nine
The
is
back
this
nine is just like,
beautiful
oh,
ocean links.
yeah.
Like it's amazing. I love playing that course, and
I-
it's not very, the backside is not very long.
Uh-huh.
So you could actually play the backside without hitting driver if you wanted to,
Okay.
but that's not what I do.
It's the back nine is beautiful at that course.
Oh, it is amazing.
Refresh my memory. So on the ocean course, is the finishing hole the one that heads south across the sort of the barranca or the ravine to the hotel, or is it the one that's headed north?
So the one that's the north course you're thinking of. The old course is the one
Okay.
that the ocean is on your right.
Yeah.
On the ocean course, the ocean's on your left.
Okay. So I was in the Bay Area for 7 years. I never played, the closest I got to playing Half Moon Bay was a lot of rounds at Sharp Park.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Fun place. Yeah.
Fun place to lose your golf ball on the first fairway because of all the little white flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So
the other course was, and I cannot remember. I have such a bad memory. If I don't write something down, it's like it's gone forever. Maybe that's why I do YouTube, so I can look back later on and find stuff. But there was, we were driving through Nebraska. I think it was Nebraska, and we were like looking for a golf course, and then we found this golf course and just played it, random golf course, and it started, you're at the top of a ravine and you hit down and then you're playing through the ravine, and I started off the best round I have ever started. And of course it all went to, I sunk like 230 footers and was just piping it, and then the end of the round was terrible, but that was such a treat, because sometimes I feel like the unexpected golf round that you have are sometimes the best rounds. When you're like, I'm not necessarily planning to play golf this day, and you somehow get out on the course, those are the best days.
Yep. I can relate with that intimately. So what is probably the least favorite course that you played out of those 50?
Bridges. The Bridges.
Just because it's so hard. What makes Bridges so hard? So I don't even, is Bridges new, or was it?
They've softened it up. So it used to be harder. It's very much like you've got to hit from this section to, it's a bit targety for me. You've got to hit from this section to this section to this section. And all the, on the backside, all the trebles on the right hand side, and when you've got a power fade, that's not the best thing.
Oh well, the guy that commented on your Tilden video said a power fade, sir, has 7 to 10 yards of cut on
it. Mine's extra powerful.
Either extra powerful or extra fadey. It's one of the two.
Oh dear.
I love that comment. Okay, so the least favorite is the Bridges because it's just not fair. I don't know.
I played I played a tournament there once, and it was just miserable, and it was such a slow round because it's difficult. Like everybody was struggling. It's like that's not a place for a qualifier for an NCGA thing because it's just too difficult.
Yeah, targeted golf is like that's not my friend.
And people in the comments are going to go, that was not targeted golf. For me, that's target golf.
Yeah, I get you. I like you talk about playing in Scotland and sort of, I go to Bandon every year, and that link style golf, and so many courses will say they're link style, but there's so many there's certain elements that make it link style, and if you don't have those elements, it is not link style.
Right?
Is it built on sand? Is it built on sand dunes? Does it have gorse? Does it have traps? Is it just all about the ground game and the wind?
Did you take a caddy when you played Bandon?
Nope.
No.
So okay. I have played. I've had the good fortune. I just had my 8th trip to Bandon, and so go every year for work, and we play 2 courses, and the first couple years, the president of the company, my boss, who's been going to Bandon since it opened, he took us and I was like, oh, are we getting caddy or whatever? He's like, no, I've been here so many times. No, you don't need a caddy. It's fine. We'll do this. And it was nice having him, in those first couple of years going, we ended up playing every course. And then we all learned sheep ranch together. But we played every course with somebody who'd played every one of those courses like 8 or 9 times. And so it was really helpful. And we had a new employee or newer person added to the group that went this year. And there was 4 of us. And he's like, I want a caddy. I want to get a caddy. So he got a caddy. My concern was actually validated in that we went down as 4 co-workers but good friends and just having a good time. And you inject into what should be 3.5, 4 hours of the greatest time of your life, you inject in a foreign element.
Okay.
A well-intentioned and useful foreign element if it's all about the score, but it's not. It was not about the score. It was about like having a good time with your coworkers, and it just made things kind of weird. And that's the first time we've had a caddy in that group. And
Right.
I will say it was like I didn't really like it, and I didn't feel that he really added much to the game at all. But that's partly because it's a course that I played like 4 times.
Right.
So,
right.
It'd be nice to have someone push my bag or carry my bag. That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think if I was in Scotland or something, I would definitely.
Oh my gosh.
I would definitely
it
want a caddy.
They are so funny. And so when I was there, it was during the Euros. And England was doing quite well for once. And we had a chance of winning it all, and like the whole of Scotland was supporting Spain. And the caddies were like in on the whole, like, oh, it's the Englishman. Let's be
bet
mean
against
to the
him.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun though.
No, that's funny. No, Paul, it breaks left. I swear, it breaks left.
It's never done that before.
Yeah, I don't think. I think probably the vast majority of folks in the U.S. don't understand what the England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, how that works, right?
Yeah.
We think a lot of people say England and they mean all of it, and it's like, no, that's not right.
And we don't make it easy. We don't make it easy to understand. So you go to the Olympics and it's Great Britain, England, Ireland, Scotland, and all that, right? But in football, soccer, and rugby and cricket and all of that, the home nations, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, they're individual teams.
Mm-hmm.
So for a long time, like at the Olympics, very rarely will you see a Great Britain team. They did that for when they had the Olympics in England. Yeah. But normally they do not have a soccer team because they don't want to lose the ability to be the home nations on the international stage for like the World Cup and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's so weird.
It is weird, but it's kind of fun to see like how it plays out. And sort of like the internal camaraderie / rivalry, and
it's funny. Like I think most people in England would love to see Scotland do well at the World Cup because they qualified. They're going to be playing Brazil. It's a big reach, but the same cannot be said the other way. Most people in Scotland want to see England get knocked out in the group stage. So
you guys are the big baddies, the big bad guys. The big bad guys. That's fantastic. I love that. Well, let's see. What else did you want to talk about? I hate to say that. That's like the worst question. Right? That's the worst question. I actually had written down, do you want to talk about your business? Because I think it's fun to hear about niche businesses and industries that aren't obvious. You talked about that a little bit. Do you also so you do the screens, right? Do you also do the I don't want to call them launch monitors, but like the inflatable hitting bays for golf?
I own one and I have used it for a couple of events, but I really haven't pushed it as much as I should.
Yeah.
But I do own a launch monitor and an inflatable bay and have hooked up screens and done that, but I really haven't pushed it that much as a business yet. So we do my business, we do outdoor movies on screens anywhere from like 8 foot to 52 foot, which is like a drive-in movie screen. I was actually in LA yesterday doing a event down there with a friend for Disney, which was pretty cool. Disney and IKEA. So we had our big 52-foot screen. We also have LED screens, which are the daytime viewable screens. So think about like watch parties, World Cup watch parties and all of that. So we do all of that stuff. And then we'll also do fundraisers, a lot of like movies in the park, that type of stuff. And then I also do some couple of times a year, we'll like live stream for like street fair type stuff. When they're doing the floats, the Cherry Festival in San Leandro, we'll live stream that sort of stuff. So a lot of tech-based stuff to do with screens.
I didn't realize that you had a 52-foot screen, because that's a huge screen.
It's massive.
And that's an inflatable?
It is, yeah. The white part of the surface starts at 10.5 feet off the floor.
Wow. How long does it take to, first of all, how long does it take to inflate that? And second question is, how much weight do you have to have and tie downs to keep it on the ground and not blowing away?
Okay, so that is set up with either 4-foot, 4-foot stakes per section, or 2,000 pounds of weight per rope. So when we set up in LA, we were in the parking lot. So we had the big IBC totes, and on each corner we had 2 of those.
Wow.
It's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight. It's a lot of water.
And you own all the projectors for, for regardless of the screen size, you have the projectors as well and everything else.
That one, I did not have to do projection. Disney was actually doing the projection. We were just the screen vendor. But normally we do the whole thing. We do the screen, the projector, the playback system. We do the whole thing, which is pretty fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We do just over 500 events a year. It's crazy.
And you told me, but like, no, that's the kind of niche thing that, you don't plan on it. You don't plan on going into that. How did you stumble on that niche?
So I was a network administrator for a law office in San Francisco. And when my son got to the right age to watch Star Wars, I did not want him to watch Star Wars on a small screen, a little TV. 32-inch TV does not cut it to watch Star Wars. I want him to have the experience. So I used to like bring the projector home sometimes. So I brought a projector home, put up a sheet, and we watched Star Wars on a big screen. And then the big screen, I ended up buying a real screen, outdoor movie screen, and then buying speakers and stuff. And the mother-in-law is like, you really should do this as a business. So I started doing research. I found a company that like licensed their stuff. Every time you search for them, you find FunFlix because they're really good with the SEO. I'm like, well, I'm not going to compete with that. So I became a licensee. So I pay to use the name. And yeah, that first year we did 1 event. Next year we did 35 events. Then we did 105. And then each year we've kind of increased. And last few years, we've been in the 500 plus range of events.
It's such an awesome
it
story.
Sounds like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of events over a year, but it's actually a lot of events over a few months.
It's even worse, even harder.
We get into we'll get into our busy months of August, September, October.
Okay.
Bay Area, even up in Oregon, that tends to be the better weather.
Yeah.
So we will be doing our busiest day this year. We had 18 events going on at the same time. That's why I have no hair.
And to bring it full circle, that's why the hat.
Yeah.
If Jamel wants to know why no bucket hat, that's why.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that it all sort of started because of Star Wars, it sounds like. And again, to tie it back to, the whole premise here is like 50-year-old YouTubers. My Star Wars, we were fortunate enough. I'm not like a total diehard Star Wars fan, but I was as a kid. And I was fortunate enough to be of the age where it was like I was George Lucas's target market at that time.
Right. Exactly.
I think back about it now, and as a kid, I think it was cool. I thought it was cool, but now I look back when Return of the Jedi came out, we watched it. We were on a summer vacation. We watched it at a drive-in in Gearhart, Oregon, where my family's from. And it was, so you're on the edge of the Pacific Ocean, and dark as can be out there because there is no industry, no light pollution. And we watched Return of the Jedi on a drive-in theater during the Perseid meteor shower.
Oh my gosh.
Meteors were just pouring out of the sky the whole time.
That is amazing.
So you're watching Return of the Jedi, and in the background is over the Pacific Ocean, just meteors everywhere. And it was amazing. I think back about that. I'm like, that was such a cool experience. You can't plan it like that, but
yeah,
that's just sort of the way it works. That's the way life works out. So that was pretty awesome. But well, Paul, look, it's been an hour. I'm trying to keep these things to an hour. It's been every bit as enjoyable and fun as I was hoping, and frankly just knew it was going to be, because we've already met and we had a great time.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. We were like, we're gonna meet for lunch, and we didn't really know each other, and within 5 minutes I'm like, I felt like I'd known you for years.
Yeah, I'm not once I feel like someone's safe, this is a PSA for kids watching this later. It's okay to meet your friends from the internet.
Right. We call up and get in cars with strangers now. So.
Yeah. But no, this has been fantastic. I've loved talking to you about sort of your 50 at 50. The next question, and let's get to this really quick before we finish up here, is what's next? You're 50, almost 53 now. I know you have a new challenge. What's the next challenge? Share it with the viewers.
Yeah. So
what are you up to now?
First year was 50 at 50, playing 50 different golf courses in my 50th year. Did it. Second year was yay. Second year was gain back yards, lose weight to equal 50. Didn't do it, but did pretty good. That was like, it wasn't Edson. That was all on me. This year, I'm trying to do another 50 at 50, but this time it's 50 golf experiences. And I think I'm on 17. So I have a lot to do by January 15th, and it may not happen this year. But what I want, my next challenge, I really want to do, and I want to play 50 different courses in 50 states. Now, I don't know if that's something I can do in a year, but I want to do it by the time before I'm 60. So I think it's fair enough to give yourself extra time.
Yeah.
So if there are any airlines watching and want to support, what's the Love Actually, want to help an aging rock star, want to help an aging golfer, that would be brilliant. So yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. There's also one other challenge that I have to mention. It was the personal race between you and I this year.
Oh my gosh. That's the most important.
The first person to get just below 10, 9.999 handicap. Yeah. I didn't do it. My handicap season's over. The best I got to was 12. Did you make it?
13.9.
13.9. All right.
7 was the lowest. 13.9 is the next. I think we should try and go for it next year.
I think 100% I will be going for it. I will be going for it until I do it. And my handicap season starts March 1st.
Okay.
So as of March 1st, it's back on, and maybe at that point between now and then we should check in, and we should maybe think about some stakes. Put some stakes to it to really motivate us.
I think the stakes are stakes.
That'll work.
Take the other one out for a steak meal.
That'll work 100%. That's fantastic. And you'll be up here. I may try to get down there, and it works out perfect. But
excellent. So this is the new Rick Shields and Peter Finch here.
No, Timu, Rick Shields, and Peter Finch. Definitely the Timu version.
I could get behind that.
Yeah. So, well, look, Paul, this has been fantastic. I really appreciate you coming on and being open and sharing and being as humorous and entertaining as I knew you would be. If you're not subscribed to Paul's channel, 50 at 50, definitely subscribe. subscribe to Mike Golfs Oregon. Thank you and good night to the chat. It's great having you guys in here asking your questions. Good to see people logging
Mike,
in and out.
This is so cool what you're doing. Like all the smaller YouTubers and stuff, and the stories that you're pulling out of people. You're really good at this, and it doesn't feel like I'm being interviewed. It feels like I'm chatting with a friend, and that's how it should be.
It should be, yeah.
Stay motivated with this. This is really cool.
I'm trying to stay motivated with this. It's amazing how unresponsive some people are when I ask. But I just keep going. I just keep plugging away and keep asking. At some point, someone else says yes, and great, have them on. So I've got other folks lined up that I'm looking forward to. I've got 2 more lined up. I don't have one for next week, but I have one for 2 weeks from now, and working on the next one. And so, and I've got one that we're working on a date who will be coming live. Well, not live, probably do pre-recorded from the UK.
There we go. Brilliant.
Simon, the hairy golfer. If he watches this, I'm coming for you, Simon. So I think he'll be very, very fun. He's very, very fun. So thank you, Paul.
Mike, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It's been fantastic. Everyone else, have a great night, and see you on the next one.